So this is the end of our first round and we're starting our second round. To start with, we're going to double crochet twice into each of these loops for a total of 18 stitches. So we're going to go and actually work through the top of the loop that we slip stitched into. 2 stitches, 1 and 2, and we're going to do this the entire way around to the end. This is also where we're going to be working over the tail that was left from when we pulled our magic ring closed. I pulled it up and worked over it with my first 2 stitches. This is going to essentially lock it in place and make sure it doesn't come undone later. So when you're working through your loops here, as you can see them here, here, and here, you're also going to be working over the tail end of the string like this. See how the yarn is now hidden? And that way you don't have to cut it and worry about it coming undone later. I'm going to continue this until the end of the round.
2.
I've stopped here at stitch 14 so you can see the very end of the tail that we used to pull the magic ring closed. I've worked over it all the way around this round, and now I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's totally worked over. So here we have stitch 15 and 16. There we go. Your loop is going to stay closed. It's totally hidden and it'll stay that way. And now we'll finish this row with stitch 17 and 18. And again, we're going to slip stitch to the top of the very first stitch in the row, like so, by pulling through and through, and then chaining 2 to get onto row 3. The reason I start my 2 double crochets in the same loop that I slip stitched is because it hides the seam better and keeps your hat closer together with smaller gaps. Now this row is going to start the pattern for the rest of the hat. We're going to double crochet 2 in the first stitch again, like 1 and 2. In the next stitch you're going to do a single double crochet and then 3. It's an easy pattern to remember because on the 3rd row you're going to have a pattern of repeating 3 and so on. It matches row for row all the way up through row 6. So I'm going to again repeat this pattern of 1, 2 in 1, and then a single by itself. And then 2, and 1, and I'm going to repeat this all the way around to the end of the row.
Sure.
At the end of row 3, and it's really easy to keep track of your rows, row 1, row 2, row 3, you're going to have a total of 27 stitches, and again you're going to slip stitch at the top of the first one, like so, and chain 2 before you start row 4. Row 4 is going to continue the pattern of starting with 2 double crochets in the first stitch here, 1 and 2, only this time you're going to have 2 single double crochets by themselves, like this, and then 3 and 4. So it's a 4 stitch repeating pattern here of 2 in 1 and then 2 by themselves. That's how I keep track of which row I'm on, as well as counting this way, is how many stitches are there in my repeating pattern. That's what row I'm on, because 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, it's going to be 1, 2 and 1 to begin with, and then 2 by themselves, like this. 3 and 4. I'm going to continue this pattern all the way around to the end, where I will have 36 stitches at the end of this row.